You think you're in control of your choices, your decisions, your emotions. But what if I told you? Someone else might be pulling your strings, and you don't even realize it. Welcome to the world of psychological manipulation. In this video, we'll uncover 5 powerful mental tricks that manipulators use to control people without raising a single red flag. These aren't just random tactics. They are deeply rooted in psychological research and are used every day by narcissists, toxic partners, skilled salespeople, cult leaders, and even governments. If you've ever felt guilted into doing something, doubted your memory, or said yes when you meant no, this video will explain why. So listen closely, because by the end, you'll not only spot these manipulative tactics in others, but maybe even in yourself. This isn't just about defense. It's about taking back control of your mind. Trick number 1 is subtle, but it breaks people down over time. So listen closely, because by the end, you'll not only spot these manipulative tactics in others, but maybe even in yourself. This isn't just about defense. It's about taking back control of your mind. Trick number 1 is subtle, but it breaks people down over time. Trick number 1, gaslighting. This is one of the most dangerous and confusing manipulation tactics out there. The manipulator uses gaslighting to make you question your own reality. They'll deny things they said, twist events, or make you feel like you're overreacting. Example? Let's say someone screams at you, and the next day, when you bring it up, they calmly say, "I never yelled, you're just sensitive." Over time, this erodes your confidence in your own memory, judgment, and emotional reactions. You start wondering if you're the problem. That's exactly what they want. A gaslighter's power comes from making you doubt yourself so much that you become dependent on them to define what's real. The scary part? This tactic is so slow and sneaky that many victims don't even realize it's happening until it's too late. That's why recognizing the signs early is crucial. If you ever feel like you're constantly apologizing and second-guessing yourself, stop. You might not be crazy. You might be getting gaslit. Trick number 2, the foot-in-the-door technique. This is one of the oldest manipulation tactics in the book, and it works because of how your brain handles consistency. The manipulator starts with a small, innocent request. You say yes, then they escalate. You feel psychologically inclined to keep agreeing because you've already said yes once. Your brain wants to stay consistent with your past behavior. For example, a coworker asks you to help with a tiny task. No big deal. Then, a week later, they ask you to cover their entire shift. You feel obligated, even if it's inconvenient. Why? Because your brain already committed. This technique is used in sales, relationships, and politics constantly. Once you agree to something small, the manipulator slowly increases their demands until you're doing things you never would have agreed to at the beginning. Watch for patterns. If someone keeps escalating after each yes, take a step back and ask, where is this really going? Trick number 3, love bombing. Sounds sweet, right? It's not. Love bombing is when a manipulator overwhelms you with affection, praise, gifts, and attention. Fast. It's intense. You feel special, needed, chosen. But here's the twist. It's not love. It's control. Once you're emotionally hooked, the love bomber flips the script. The affection turns into silence. The praise turns into criticism. The gifts stop, and you're left chasing the high. That emotional roller coaster creates dependency. It mimics addiction. Your brain releases dopamine during the highs and craves it during the lows. You start asking, "What did I do wrong? How do I get the love back?" That's when the manipulator owns you. Narcissists, cults, and even abusive bosses use this to hook people in, then condition them to seek approval at any cost. If something feels too good to be true too fast, it probably is. Real connection builds over time. Manipulation moves fast. And it always comes with a hidden price. Trick number 4, triangulation. Imagine someone telling you, "Everyone thinks you're overreacting," or "You should be more like insert other person's name." That's triangulation. It's when a manipulator brings a third person, real or imaginary, into the conversation to control you. They pit people against each other, spark jealousy, or create false comparisons to shift power in their favor. You start feeling isolated, insecure, or desperate to prove yourself. It's often used in toxic relationships. One partner constantly brings up an ex to make you feel like you're not enough. Or in workplaces, a boss praises one employee while quietly undermining another. The goal? Control through emotional instability. Triangulation is psychological warfare. It's subtle, but deadly. If you notice someone constantly referencing other people to make you feel small, less than, or replaceable, recognize the game. The moment you start comparing yourself to others based on someone else's narrative, you've already stepped into their trap. Trick number 5, guilt tripping. This one is common and powerful. Guilt tripping is when someone makes you feel bad for not doing what they want. It sounds like, "After everything I've done for you," or "I guess you don't care about me." It's a manipulation of your empathy. They're not asking. They're emotionally blackmailing you. And it works because most of us don't want to hurt others. But a manipulator uses that kindness against you. The moment you start sacrificing your boundaries out of guilt, you're no longer choosing freely. You're complying under pressure. The worst part? Guilt tripping often comes from people close to us, parents, partners, friends, and that makes it even harder to see. But remember, true love doesn't guilt you into action. It invites you with respect. If someone uses your empathy as a weapon, it's not love, it's control. Now that you've seen the 5 main tactics, here's what you need to understand. Manipulation is not always loud or obvious. In fact, the most dangerous manipulators are often charming, soft-spoken, even generous at first glance. They study your reactions, mirror your emotions, and adjust their tactics based on what makes you tick. They aren't just controlling what you do, they're shaping how you think. Once someone controls your thoughts, your decisions follow. That's the dark truth most people never realize. Manipulation often hides behind what feels familiar: love, care, attention. But beneath the surface, it's a strategy, a game. And in this game, only one person wins unless you wake up. That's why knowledge is your greatest weapon. Recognizing the pattern is step 1. Refusing to play along. That's where the power shifts back to you. You're not weak for falling for these tactics. You're human. But now, you're a human who knows better. Now here's the dark twist. Sometimes, we're not just the victims. Sometimes, we become the manipulators without realizing it. Think about it. Have you ever guilted someone to get your way? Played dumb to avoid responsibility? Complimented someone with an agenda? The truth is, we all have shadows. We all carry manipulation potential. But the difference lies in awareness. True manipulators operate from intention. They know they're twisting people. But unconscious manipulation is still harmful. This video isn't just about protecting yourself from others. It's about checking yourself too. Where are you using fear, guilt, or pressure in your relationships? Where are you disguising control as care? Facing your own manipulative tendencies is uncomfortable, but it's also freeing. You can't heal what you won't admit, and you can't change what you won't confront. The path to mental freedom starts inside. Everything we've explored today leads to one core truth. Your mind is the battlefield. In relationships, in workplaces, in society. The war is not always fought with weapons. It's fought with words, emotions, attention, silence. And if you don't master your mind, someone else will. That's why understanding these tactics is power. That's why videos like this matter. Not to make you paranoid, but to make you aware, to make you question, to make you stronger. The world is full of charming smiles hiding sharp intentions, but the more you train your awareness, the more you see through the masks. Shadow mind is not just a channel, it's a weapon, a shield, a mirror. If you felt something awaken in you today, it means you're ready. You're done being controlled. You're done being confused. From now on, you see the game, and you decide whether to play. Thank you for watching this episode of Shadow Mind. If this video opened your eyes, drop a like. It helps more than you know. Share it with someone who needs to wake up, and subscribe for more raw psychological deep dives every week. Here, we expose manipulation. We decode human behavior. We give you the tools to outthink the system. Every week, we peel back the mind's layers to reveal the dark truths most people ignore. Comment below. Which of these 5 tactics have you experienced or accidentally used? We're building a community of thinkers, not followers. People who question the surface and explore the shadows. Because once you understand the dark side of psychology, nothing can control you again. Until next time, stay sharp, stay free, and never stop watching the shadows.